Hey everyone, it's Kyle. Azor Hype. After an absolutely insane episode 3 where we lost Theon Greyjoy, Ser Jorah Mormont, Dolorous Edd, Beric Dondarrion, and the fantastic now giant killer Lyanna Giantsbane Mormont, we move our focus to the final war. So let's get hype and let's preview episode 4 of Game of Thrones Season 8. So first of all, let's address the big direwolf in the room. That's right, Ghost is alive. Oh my god, I thought that the showrunners were going to do us so dirty by killing Ghost off screen, but I'm really excited that Ghost is alive. We can see him here in this shot. It's confirmed he's not dead, and I'm really excited that he's going to be joining the final war. The first characters we see are Cersei and Euron on the balcony looking over the Red Keep. It looks like Cersei is getting the Golden Company in place to prepare for a siege. Has she heard about the White Walkers and the defeat of the Night King at the Battle of Winterfell? We have to note Euron's gaze in this moment. He doesn't seem to be looking at the soldiers, and he is only watching Cersei. It is also interesting to see her in a different color. She now wears the dark red of House Lannister. I suppose her mourning period is over, and in the other scene, we see Euron Greyjoy fall to one knee in front of Cersei. This certainly looks like a marriage proposal, but Euron is crazy, so I'll be surprised if this is some romantic, genuine declaration of love. With the dawn of a new day, it looks like those in Winterfell are rebuilding and taking care of the enormous amount of dead bodies. We see the solemn faces of Sansa, Arya, and Jon in this situation. They appear to be in mourning, and at another point it looks like Dany, Grey Worm, Jon, Sansa, Arya, and others are walking with torches to huge funeral pyres for a large ceremony for the dead. Jorah Mormont, Lyanna Mormont, Theon Greyjoy, Beric Dondarrion, Dolorous Edd, and others are all deserving of a proper service, honoring their courage and their fellowship. I mostly felt like their arcs were tied up nicely, so to see them for the final time at a funeral will definitely be bittersweet. We hear Daenerys' voiceover, "We have won the Great War. Now we will win the last war." These are two different scenes here, one with Dany between Missandei and Varys where she says the line, but then it cuts to a different one, Dany in different clothes at what appears to be a feast as well. From cheers and glasses raising, it looks as if Dany has been accepted by what's left of the North. Her sacrifices along the way have been great, though she lost her whole Dothraki horde, which is the loss of an entire culture. And she also lost many of her Unsullied and her very close friend, Ser Jorah Mormont. The trailer shows Dany in a triumphant moment with the North, but in the scene where she is walking away, there definitely appears to be pain in her eyes, and help but wonder if she is grieving about the loss of Ser Jorah Mormont. We also have to remember that Jon and Daenerys didn't really have time to have a proper conversation about Jon's true parentage, so it is plausible that we see them struggle to connect because of all the loss and tragedy that they experienced in episode 3. There are some shots of dragons flying and boats sailing, all possibly heading to King's Landing. Now that the Night King and his army has been defeated, there is just one more boss to deal with, and that is Queen Cersei Lannister, the first of her name. It seems we have returned to the Game of Thrones, and everything from here on out will be the fight for the throne itself. Cersei Lannister being the final boss is very intriguing, considering the title of the show is Game of Thrones. I know a lot of people are upset about Arya Stark killing the Night King in episode 3 and that Winterfell at Winterfell, but we gotta remember that we still have 3 80-minute episodes left for the series. Cersei Lannister is incredibly dangerous, and so is Euron Greyjoy, who will be one of the third act villains in the books as well. Of course, opinions are going to be split on this matter, but George R. R. Martin always wanted the end of the series to resemble the Scouring of the Shire, which we are going to discuss in a video on the channel at length this week. We hear Daenerys' voice again say, "We'll rip her out root and stem." The phrase root and stem has been used at least twice before in the series. Once with Robb Stark explaining to Jaime why he wouldn't leave him in the hands of his bannermen. He believed that Tywin would give them an ultimatum, give up Jaime for a huge reward or be killed. The other time we heard this was when Arya Stark was disguised as Walder Frey. She tells the Freys that they didn't kill all of the Starks. These two examples suggest that an entire line will be extinct. When Daenerys uses it, we cut to a scene of Cersei with Euron in the background. Not only does Daenerys want to take the throne, but she wants to remove all of Cersei's influence as well. Will she be successful is the big question. Also, now that the Night King is no longer a threat, is Dany completely clear to pursue the Iron Throne? There is still the question of Sansa's respect and loyalty, not to mention dealing with Jon's possible claim. We have to wonder of how much that will play a factor over the next 3 episodes. It will be really interesting to see how they navigate this episode, considering it is almost as long as episode 3. We do see Dany's fleet sail with the Targaryen sigil, suggesting they could be on the move to maybe Dragonstone or maybe even Pike. Yara did suggest to Theon that she would take back Pike just in case they lost the battle against the army of the dead at Winterfell. We do also see dragons fly overhead, and it looks as if Drogon seems to be okay in the shot. Rhaegal took a lot of damage during the fight, but I'm guessing he was pretty hungry after battling the Army of the Dead. It will definitely be interesting to see how the dragons are used in the war against Cersei, Euron, and the Golden Company over the last 3 episodes. I don't expect a major battle in episode 4, but we do see Euron drop the one knee, and he does command Cersei's fleet, so maybe we could see Daenerys, Yara, Jon, and the others take on Euron Greyjoy in this episode. One thing we also have to consider is what Qyburn showed Cersei, the ballista he made shooting a giant arrow through the skull of Balerion the Black Dread in Season 7. And while Cersei doesn't have a dragon like the Night King, we see the opening credits tease the shot of the skull of Balerion the Black Dread and the ballista that Qyburn made for Cersei last season. So this could be foreshadowing that one of the dragons might bite the dust. I like the idea of Rhaegal or Drogon dying like Meraxes did in the Hellholt when Rhaenys was sieging Dorne during Aegon the Conqueror's conquest of the Seven Kingdoms. But what are you most excited for in the next episode? Do you think we will get an unexpected battle? And what do you think will be the major moments of episode 4? Let me know your thoughts, your theories, and tinfoil in the comments section. As I stated earlier in this video, I will be doing a Lord of the Rings, a Game of Thrones comparative analysis video, as well as an Arya Stark's Hero's Journey video. And if you want to see more Game of Thrones videos like this one, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get updated for my daily Game of Thrones videos on the channel. I would love to hear what you would like me to cover on the channel next, so feel free to leave your suggestions in the comment section and we will see what we'll do next. A big thank you to all of the patrons on the channel, and thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Hype and love.